Hey folks, welcome to Vice Q&A, where you've got questions and we might have answers. So we're going to take the next 5 minutes out of our blogging lifestyle and answer a few of them. Do you want to reach in the box and see what we've got?
Alrighty, who do we have first this week? Let's see, I'll pick this one. And this one comes from Crusader8463. Have you ever seen any horror anime that actually scared you? If so, what one? I don't watch a lot of horror, and I can explain exactly why. When I was about 8 years old, my brother made me watch Terminator 2, and the scene where you got like the foster moms who slaughtered the foster dad, yeah, that scared the hell out of me. I had nightmares for like a week.
That was actually a robot, Gia. Get over it.
I knew. I still figured, my mom could be a robot. How would I know?
A shape-shifting robot?
Sure. Why not?
I can't say I've ever watched a horror anime that has actually scared me, per se. I don't know. I feel that there's been stuff that's been psychologically creepy, but actually scare me is kind of different.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just because it's so very much a fantasy by virtue of the fact that it's animated, it's probably a little harder to really feel like, oh my god, that slasher guy is totally under my bed right now.
Especially when you have a J-pop opening and ending full of things. Like, oh, he's got the knife. And then they've got a cute little adorable kitten that runs across. Next question.
What show is that?
I don't know. Lon asks, is there a manga or anime that you would change the ending to?
I would change the ending to... Do you have anything?
Well, I'd say Evangelion, but they've already done that a couple times.
Yeah, change... I feel like there was something that I would do that to, but what?
Kaiba.
Really? You changed the ending to Kaiba?
Yeah, Kaiba had me just like, I was like, and then he got all the way to the end, and then I feel like the thing just ran into a brick wall.
Romeo X Juliet.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's such, it was potentially so cool, and then they just sort of like, let's just fling it all away and be really, really weird.
I was at least satisfied that Romeo and Juliet died. I mean, I did not expect that. I expected a happily ever after ending and they'd cuddle and have like 56 children.
I totally knew that wasn't going to happen. It's gone, so after all, that's not really what they do.
Okay, once more into the void.
Noctis asks, what's your favorite arc from any anime or manga and why did you enjoy it?
That's so, it's not even what's your favorite anime or manga, it's your favorite arc. Which then has to be your favorite thing, which may not have an arc that you enjoy the most.
Yeah, because I don't do a lot of shonen stuff, so most of the anime that I watch is an arc or two. But I bet I could come up with one, so you
the first thing that came to my mind when you said arc in an anime, I was thinking of Kaiji, the gambling anime, where they have very clear demarked arcs where the guy is in one sort of gambling situation after another, and terrible things happened. I really like the arc where they were playing controlled paper, rock, scissors for their lives. I mean, come on. Controlled paper, rock, scissors. They had scissors, paper, rock in a limited amount, and they had to do it. There's all this strategy. You'd weed out people. You'd read what they had. Loved it.
I could say that my favorite arc is not an arc. It's the intro first chunk of Bleach before they go to Soul Society. That was like my favorite part of Bleach.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, before they introduced like 80 more characters all of a sudden. Thumbs up for that.
Kelleth asks, a certain internet semi-celebrity said that she's kind of sick of these high school themes in anime claiming to be an overused plot device. Do you guys think that the high school theme is overused?
What?
Certain internet semi-celebrity.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't get to ask questions. This is the answer.
Oh,
yeah, we asked you a question. Who is this certain internet semi-celebrity? High school
As for the actual question, I don't know if I could say that I would think it would be overused. I think that because a lot of anime is geared at kind of the late teens, early 20s, you get a lot of shows focusing on close to that age. Although you don't get very many college anime.
I will never, ever, ever be tired of high school anime. Because, and it depends, I might get tired of certain shows, but I think in general, just that period of time where you're dealing with youths in question that have all of these coming of age things, no matter what genre it is, anime, book, movies, that provide such a rich ground for character development, because that's when the characters themselves are coming up with so much about themselves. By the time you get 40...
Plus, hormones.
Oh yeah.
Gotta have the hormones.
I'd rather watch romantic comedy about a bunch of high schoolers than romantic comedy about, 55-year-olds. No offense. Just saying.
That Ristorante Paradiso, that was pretty popular. It had a bunch of old dudes in it. Alright, JJor64, if you could go back and, this is kind of tangentially similar, if you could go back and rewrite any manga to make it like what you wanted it to be, which one would you choose and why? I know which one I would do.
What are you going to do?
I would do Death Note. I would rewrite Death Note to be paced a little bit more like the movies. I'm not quite sure how far I should go on talking with this, because if I did, it would spoil some pretty significant stuff.
You would reach the 50% mark and then just curve off the other way.
We would end actually where it was supposed to end, instead of being like, we haven't made enough money off this yet. Let's just go on a little while longer. That's what I would do. I would rewrite Death Note.
I, much to the excitement of Funimation, would go back and fix Dragon Ball Z.
Did they already do that? It was called Dragon Ball Kai.
No, I'm sorry. No, that's not enough. We're not only cutting out that stuff, but we're choosing to end the series. We're choosing to end the series early at one particular juncture. I'm thinking I could just stop at Z if we could just eradicate GT. I'd be cool with that. Or maybe even just end itself, because I really think that was the strongest part to end the series. Not even edit it. And do the Kai stuff while we're at it. Cut out a bunch of the powers.
Yeah. All right.
And last but not least, we have Omegametrics, who says... Mechics? Who says,
like
why does several series have vampires who dramatically change their roles? True vampires are dark, immortal, evil creatures who love human blood but can only be killed by sunlight, garlic, or a stake to the heart. They are always changed to be peaceful characters and have weaknesses that are removed while powers are added.
Okay, Hellsing, first off, totally what you're looking for. That said, I think
they still have a lot of wacky powers, and they're still not,
Yeah, but I mean, the one true vampire in the series is definitely not a kind, peaceful creature with weaknesses.
He's not really dark or evil. In fact, he's like that because he got touched as a small child.
Oh, come on. Alucard's pretty bad. I mean, compared to, I think what he's talking is more about, the Vampire Knight vampire.
Vampire Bond.
As for why do they do that? Because characters that don't change and develop are not very interesting characters to watch most of the time. Hellsing is actually kind of an unusual exception to that, because Hellsing is mostly really about the action and not about character development.
You can only reinvent the wheel so often before you have to create a new shape.
And plus, I mean, these things that you mentioned here are not even necessarily totally 100%
uniform.
Whatever, they're because vampires do not, as far as we know, actually exist. No one's really agreed on what a vampire is. The vampires in Preacher, for example, an American comic, were only sensitive to sunlight. And obviously a stake through the heart, because I think they'll kill pretty much anybody. But garlic and holy water, nothing.
I just thought it was weird that creatures had a weakness to garlic. It's like Italy's safe, everywhere else is screwed.
It's the same kind of thing, if you spill salt, you have to throw it over your left shoulder.
Or a werewolf will come eat you.
Or silver and werewolves. Sure, why not? There's a lot of, people wanted comfort from these scary, scary things that they thought might kill them. So, I'm a garlic seller, and garlic, hey, that's good against vampires. You should wear this.
It's like Lent for Catholics, where they give up meat and they only have bread and pasta and fish. Anyway, Anyway, those were questions, and we had answers, and Gia is heinous.
All right.
Bye.